Hello guys, this is Prateek and welcome back to the channel. We are watching Sports Question where we just don't talk about sports on the surface but in depth. And I'm back with another cricket video. It is the preview between India and England fourth test match which is going to be played at Manchester at the iconic stadium in Old Trafford. So, as we know, the last test match India lost by a close margin of 22 runs. It was a heartbreaking moment for most of the cricket fans in India. A lot of people cried, and I was also emotional. Actually, I was not outright emotional after the match was over. I was emotional after a couple of hours when it hit me. But yeah, it was a very heartbreaking loss. But at the same time, if we think about it, what has the English board have? I mean, it was a equal decision between English board and Indian board, but at that point of time, no one would have predicted that India will win the second test match and lose the third test match, lose the first one as well, because the gap between the first and second was too long, and then the gap between third and fourth is again too long. But the one which India won, it was around 3 to 4 days. Like it felt so bad, you can say, so heart wrenching because there was such a long gap and then we couldn't watch anything. There was literally nothing at one point of time because yeah, there was no cricketing action, there was no football action. Cricketing action in the sense India, there was no India matches. Footballing action in the sense there were no football matches except for the Club World Cup, that which actually got over around that time as well. So it was really tough. But back to cricket. India is playing the fourth test match without much of their uh, bowling unit as well as their balancer, that is Nitish Kumar Reddy. He is ruled out of the competition of the tour. Ar- Arshdeep Singh, who we thought might make a debut in Manchester, has to wait for another long duration because he got injured and he will be missing out the entirety of the tour. Anshul Kamboj, who was sent back to India after training with the Indian team, has been asked to come back and he's been included into the squad. And hopefully he makes his debut because obviously India needs at least three pacers. We can't trust Prasidh Krishna, especially after the first and second test match. And I don't think so he will make the cut. Akashdeep also would be missing this match. There is no confirmation yet about that. And Nitish Kumar Reddy has some elbow issue, I guess, and that has caused him to be out of this tour as well. So we can see Shardul Thakur making another comeback, or India might go with another batter, or someone like Kuldeep Yadav can play. And I think if India goes with three spinners, it would be fine as well because the Kuldeep Yadav is a attacking option, and India will be increasing the bowling. And besides the fact that India usually, when they need the batsmen tend to say, "This is not my job," and they just disappear like that meme kid who just and he disappears. And just like that, Indian batsmen, when the going gets tough, they gets going. That's the thing with most of Indian batsmen, because if we talk about the stats as well, since Sachin Tendulkar's retirement, India have played a lot of test matches, and whenever there is a score that is more than 150, India have lost almost every match bearing two. One was maybe the home test match, and the other was the Gabba win, which unusually was a very great win for Indian cricket, and it made a historic mark. India reaching Gabba. Yeah, good old days. It wasn't that long, but yeah, it is still good old days. another one of those people who could have been there, but there is still no confirmation about it, is that Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant might or might not play this test match. And if he plays, he might be a pure batsman. There are chances that that can happen. He did start training his wicket keeping last evening or something when they were practicing, and that is a good sign for India, obviously. But if he doesn't play, I there are talks that maybe Jurel can play, and if Jurel plays, maybe he has to play at number three. We don't know yet. It would be really interesting to see that as well because Karun has just bombarded he's just let go of his chances. He should have solidified his position at number three. It was his to be taken. He couldn't do that. Sai is too young, we saw, and those dismissals in the first test doesn't do any justice to his talent. But but we don't know. Maybe we can play with a longer batting unit uh, with maybe Jurel coming in for NKR in NKR's position, and we can go with three spinners and two seamers, which would not be that ideal, but we have to see what happens. Kuldeep Yadav should play. It would be a toss up between extra batting Arsenal or extra bowling, or putting in Shardul Thakur. But yeah, the number three spot should go to either of Jurel or maybe Sai Sudarshan as of now. And yeah, so plus England have done one change. Shoaib Bashir is injured as well, as you know. So they have brought in Liam Dawson, who will play the match, as England has already announced the squad. And that is the only change that they have. Archer will play this match as well. Cars will play. Vokes will play. That's the only thing. Yeah. I think India did play well. India did got most of the things right. They don't have to change much, but they have to be wary because this is one ground which India have not won a single test match. And in recent years, we have seen this pattern that wherever India has not won a single test match, they tend to breach that ground in the following tour, like Gabba. Then there was Edgbaston this time. Birmingham was last time, I guess. It's and hopefully India do breach it. But the main cause of concern why India has never won at Manchester is not just about the pitch or the other factors, which are actually important, obviously, the way they play or not. It's actually the English weather. In Manchester, there is classic English weather. So that means that there will be clouds, there will be a lot of rainfall, there will be interruptions on a regular basis, and the weather forecast isn't that good. There is rain predicted on occasions, and as we have seen in whenever India bowls, England bats basically. In there isn't a hint of cloud. It's not like India do get help from that, but yeah, there it just feels so unfair at times that there is no cloud when India bowls, and when England bowls, there is a complete cloud cover, which makes it tougher for batsmen. India has dominated most days out of this test series, but unfortunately, they still trail by 2-1. And hopefully, India makes a comeback. If there happens a match, I know Baseball England will try to get a result, and hopefully, that can result in India's favor. So that's the only thing I'm thinking about. India on this tour have been able to take 20 wickets twice in the second and third match. First match they didn't do it, that's why they lost. But if we talk about consistency, we have been consistent, and in patches we have been inconsistent and which has resulted in us being trailed by 2-1. So that's the only thing India needs to be wary about. The ones I think would be, think who can make a difference is again, I'll back Shubman, my boy, and KL has done his work. I think Jaiswal needs to step up this match. He could be one to watch out for. And it's Manchester, right? So I think if India plays with three seamers and three spinners as well, it would be a very close fought match, because I think so it would matter that much for the fast bowlers. But we have to see what happens. So let's see what happens in this match. My playing 11 for India would be KL Rahul Jaiswal to open. Number 3, that's an interesting pick. I might be tempted to go with Sai Sudarshan. Then number 4, Gill. Number 5, I am thinking of Pant, and we can do the same which we did in the third test match. Pant can be replaced for keeping. And then there is Ravindra Jadeja, obviously the warrior. Then Washington Sundar. I'll go with Kuldeep for this match. Then the three pacers I trust are obviously Jasprit Bumrah will play this match. So Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, and I'm going with Anshul Kamboj. Let's give that guy a say, because that guy can bat as well. So that will give us extra runs. And Nitish Kumar Reddy hasn't done much of, you can say he hasn't contributed much with the bat. And Anshul Kamboj can be a much better batsman. And plus, if we combine both the things, Anshul Kamboj's batting prowess and Kuldeep's batting, they can contribute some decent, fair bit of runs, which will be ideal for India. And a bit about Anshul Kamboj, he was in great line and length in the A tour as well, and he scored 50 as well, which is great to see, because that means that he has some talent with the bat, and he can tonk, and he can rotate the strike as well. That is a great thing for India as well, because lower order runs are the ones that matter for us. I mean, top order make runs, okay, fine, but the main point comes down to how lower order fares. And when Indian batsmen in crucial situation, when they have a small target, I'll just back Indian lower order to score those runs rather than the Indian main batsman. Yeah, that's a very harsh critical statement, but that's been proven right time and time again. So that's the only thing I'm worried about. So that's more like it, and hope you like this video. I won't be actually adding much images in this particular video, but and still I hope that you like this. Do share, subscribe, comment down below, and yeah, hope you like this content. And if you do all the things that is actually necessary, give the positive response, let the positive energy flow through it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.